Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Joe and Joe Weather Show. Joe Rayo will be with us momentarily on a night where we've got a lot of severe weather going on across the South. The system is certainly playing up to expectations. Uh, when I checked earlier, there were over 24 tornado warnings that were issued. That was as of 5 o'clock, and there's been more since. So we'll get to that momentarily. The Joe and Joe Weather Show is brought to you by Omni. Well, wait a minute. Where is it? Oh, good Lord. I'm having trouble from the start. I started early because I wanted to just make sure Joe's got to leave a little early today. All right, hang on, folks. Having a bit of a problem here getting stuff on the screen. Lovely, isn't it? Nope, that ain't it. And where am I? Oh, lost the picture again. Let's get Rayo in here. Hang on. Screen issues, Mr. Rayo. Oh, do you believe this? Nothing's coming up on the screen for some reason.
Hello.
I started the show, but just give me a moment here. I got to fix this window. Ah! Hang on.
Yes, I know it's black out there, isn't it?
Yes, is it not? Oh, it's unnerving how dark it is already. But we'll fix
Yes.
this. Hang on one moment here. And nope.
Did we do the commercial for Omni yet, or?
No, I would say that's why I started early. This
Yeah.
is very strange. I've lost all control of the screen. This is bizarre.
Maybe it's the tornadoes.
Well, you know what? I did have a lot of weather go through here. I just had I had me up, and I went to change the shot, and lo and behold, it didn't work. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Folks, I'm really sorry. I don't know what's going on here. This has got nothing to do with the signal. This is the software I'm using. It's never been a problem before. And I can't close it off without turning the show off, which is kind of weird. All right. What is going on?
Too bad this wasn't Channel 5 back like 50 years ago when they played a Burt Camford song, and every once in a while you hear Tom Gregory's voice saying, "We're having
Oh,
technical difficulties. Please stand by."
well, you know what? I think I've solved the technical difficulties. So we're here. And now we're both on the screen. So folks, this is kind of like live television, sort of. I'm almost afraid to switch this because I just lost it again. And we're back up. Okay. So, you know what? You talk. I am going to try to figure out what in the name of God is going on here. It's a comedy show, is what it is at the moment.
All right.
But first off, severe weather, big time across the South. That is definitely living up to expectations, or at least up to
Yes,
forecast
and in fact,
expectations.
if we didn't have that crazy guy in Georgia who caused all the killings, that led off the news. But I think if we didn't have that, second on the CBS Evening News tonight was the severe weather outbreak. I guess we could call this, Joe, in some ways a super outbreak. We've already had round one, a number of tornado observations that have come in, but the real threat is going to come with the actual FROPA, the actual frontal passage, as the system sweeps across the Southland during the overnight hours tonight. That's got to be scary. It always is scary when you get some of these outbreaks happening in the middle of the night in the darkness. You can't even see the funnel cloud that might be approaching your home. That is something to really be concerned about. And the same system that's causing all of that, the affiliated storm system that's off in the Ohio, traveling across the Ohio River Valley, will be bringing us a soaking rain here in the New York tri-state area tomorrow. And then as colder air drops down from eastern Canada into our area after midnight tomorrow night, guess what? It looks like we'll have a shot at some snow, and maybe, just maybe, old Joe will get his 1.4 inches to get him to 40 inches for Central Park for this winter season. This might be the last legitimate shot that we'll have at any kind of an accumulating snow, at least in the days to come, because it's going to turn much milder here later in the weekend and on into next week.
I'm very underwhelmed by the system for Thursday, the changeover potential for Thursday night into Friday morning. I don't.
Well, like
I, I,
it,
I
it's
would. I
something.
would feel better about it. I would feel better about it if we had a a strengthening shortwave, or if the upper low was holding its own as it was moving eastward. But it's getting squashed to an extent by the shortwave that's coming down from the north in Canada. So the precip on at least a few of the models starts to get all strung out. I don't know. I'm thinking that this is going to not be what everybody might think it is. I could be wrong. That does happen from time to time. I have been known to have errors, but I'm just not feeling it this time around, Mr. Rayo.
Well, you were right with the system that we had this morning or late last night. Didn't get any kind of flaky weather out of that, at least locally here at my house.
All right.
They'll just have to see what happens tomorrow. And a lot of and think about this: 1 to 2 inches of rain. It changes over to snow maybe between 2 and 5 a.m. Friday morning. And how much of that, after all of that rain, is going to stick? We need a flash freeze for it to stick to
And
any
that's not
significant amount.
that's not going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen
Right?
at all. So, no, you're right. You're right. Well,
I don't.
what else can we say?
Oh, I don't know. What I can say is I can't get anything on the darn screen to come up. I don't
Ugh.
understand this. I'm trying again, and it's just not. It's just not happening. So you know what? We're going to have to do this like we're on radio. Uh, this is really, it's so frustrating. I don't like it when when this kind of stuff happens, obviously. And now I've lost.
Yes.
There we go. I mean, we're still up on there. So look, I'm just going to have to describe what's going on, cause and figure out what in the name of God is gone wrong around here. So I'm looking at the radar, the latest radar. There are some heavy storms in a larger area of precip of rain and downpours. I'm actually in them here. Every once in a while, it sounds like a railroad train is going over my roof. But there are some big cells now over parts of central Alabama. There's a really sharp looking squall line that's developing in southeast Louisiana and in western Tennessee, and that there's almost two separate batches here in terms of the severe weather coming out. And then on the radar, there's this curl that is back up in Oklahoma and in southern Kansas, and that is the upper low, which is still so well defined. If this held together like this as it was moving eastward, we'd have a different conversation about late Thursday night and Friday. But we're reaching peak intensity with this tonight, and then the upper low is going to start to slowly weaken after tomorrow morning as it goes to the east. And that's my logic behind not going too crazy with later Thursday night into Friday morning.
Yeah, I guess so. But I know Scott Briller. Is Scott on a COVID run tonight?
No, I think he's done with those. I can't see. Well, I might as well put the chat board up. Let's see. If, I don't know. I didn't see Scott. Did he send you a bunch of Briller Jeopardy questions today?
Right. And I told him that we'll have to postpone that because I have to get out of here before 8 o'clock. But Scott did mention, there's always a chance that you can get your 1.4 in April, that there have been cases where they've had as much as, 3 inches in April. But, with each passing day, as we get closer and closer to the month of April and into April, the chances of getting that measly 1.4, Dennis Cassius sent me a message this afternoon. He said, "Watch, you'll get 1.3," and
Yeah.
fall that short of the 40-inch mark. Um, by the
By
way, one of our local television weathercasters also spoke about this statistic on his evening show tonight. Mr. Quinn over at WCBS Channel 2
did he now?
brought that into. Yes, he did, and
By the way, guess
he's
what?
taking the other.
I got the graphics up.
Are we back?
Yeah, no, I just remember. So I shut everything down and reset my computer about 15 minutes before the show to just kind of clean it up, and it seems like it's worked with the signal. But I have this weird quirk in my computer that when I do that, my print screen, I need the print screen function to work in order to get the graphics on the screen. So there's a program that I have to open up in order to make that happen. And I just realized that that's the reason why I couldn't get anything up on the screen. So there you have it on the rate. We've got the local radar up. So with this in mind, let me bring up SPC and take a look at the risk area and what's going on right now. I've lost count on how many tornado watches. There's tornado watches on top of tornado watches
Right.
up at the moment. And there's let's see, I'm trying to count them. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 tornado watches are in play at the moment. I mean, this is really ridiculous on how much. You've got a high risk, Joe. They went to a high risk of severe weather last night, and they remain, with this area of high risk across northeastern Louisiana, much of central Mississippi, into most of west central Alabama. There's a moderate risk that surrounds that. The enhanced risk extends up to southern Missouri, down to New Orleans, and almost but not quite to Atlanta on the Georgia side. I'm right in the marginal risk because I'm in that little corner there in northeastern Georgia, so almost in the corner of northeastern Georgia. And that is the area for tonight. And as you pointed out, by the way, and yes, the fact that these thunderstorms are going to be coming through at night is not going to be a pleasant experience by any stretch of the imagination for the folks across the South that are going to be in the middle of all of this. And then for
Right.
tomorrow, the Storm Prediction Center has enhanced risk for most of Georgia, moderate risk for eastern Georgia, almost all of South Carolina, the eastern half of North Carolina, enhanced risk into southern Virginia, slight risk a little bit further north than that, back into West Virginia, southern Ohio, eastern Kentucky, and then also on the south side of that in the Florida Panhandle and into North Florida with a marginal risk in central Florida. So we're going to be, the severe weather folks are going to remain very, very busy.
I can't even imagine what it would be like to. Now, I once was, I think it was 1998, the Labor Day thunderstorm outbreak here in the tri-state area. It came through during the afternoon, and that really frightened the heck out of me. We didn't get any tornadoes, but just the sky got black, the thunder was loud, the lightning was vivid, the rain was coming down. I think we had hail. I can't even imagine going through that in the middle of the night. And again, you can't even see where the danger is coming from. I mean, we all saw the Wizard of Oz, the movie The Wizard of Oz, and you see, as they're going down into the storm cellar, you see the twisters in the backdrop. It's a twister. It's a twister. Yeah. But at night, you can't see if it's a twister.
No,
you don't know where the heck it's coming from.
No,
you just hear the noise.
Yeah, which sounds like a runaway freight train.
Right, exactly.
I'm on.
So it's a rough night tonight for that.
Yeah, I'm on Tornado HQ at the moment, and there's one working tornado warning at the moment. This is at 7:45 Eastern Daylight Time, folks. So bear this in mind if you're watching this later tonight. Please go to check out your local National Weather Service forecast office page, and you can find that by going to weather.gov. Or if you want to look at the Storm Prediction Center's website, it's spc.noaa.gov. This was a severe thunderstorm that was capable of producing a tornado in Alabama. It's south of Birmingham, uh, near Thorsby or near Jemison, and moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. I'm counting here. Let's see. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So since in the last 2 hours, there have been 20 tornado warnings that have been issued. That's just in the last 2 hours or so. So it certainly has been, and there was a whole bunch of them before that. But you can take a look at this on tornadohq.com. Uh, I mean, the radar is just loaded with thunderstorms all over the place. There's some strong ones approaching Hattiesburg. Looks like some have just left Baton Rouge and heading for Slidell and for New Orleans, and also south and west of there, running down to the Louisiana coast, west of Homa. And that's with the cold front, and that is all moving east. And those cells are also very strong as we move our way northward, up north of Hattiesburg, up through central Mississippi, near Meridian, on up toward Tupelo, and near Memphis and points east. Heavy rains across all of Tennessee with embedded thunderstorms. And as I said, I've got the scattered stuff that's moving through here. My fun comes late tonight and tomorrow morning.
Right. And this will be a test for JJ, right?
He's asleep on the floor. We just had 2 downpours that sounded like there was a train going on the roof, and he's just sleeping it away. Let me just really quick, Joe. The Joe and Joe Weather Show brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware. They've got mulch, topsoil. They're getting all sorts of spring items in. I spoke to the owner today, and they're going to have everything you need to get your yard in order as we get into the warmer weeks ahead of us. 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com is the website. And then also brought to you by Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, 631-957-5106. They've got a Halloween product line, which is closer than Christmas, but of course they have their Christmas product line. Today's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. They have a St. Patty's Day line when you think about for next year. So they meet all your holiday decorating needs. Plan ahead for next holiday season. 631-957-5106, and it's liholidaylighting.com. So let's go to what map would you like me to pull up?
Well, actually, I had a map which I thought it might be interesting to share in regard to the rain to snow situation tomorrow, actually Friday morning.
All right, go ahead. You have sharing capability.
All right, hang on.
I think I gave it to you.
Let me just get it back up here. I want to show everybody the FGen, the FGen for 850, the 850 millibar level here. And I'm going to do that in just a second. Hang on, share.
Oh, hold on, Joe. I lost the screen again. This was my fault. Okay, so there you are. And
by the way, Tim Veltman says I'm going to end up with 39.9.
Do me a favor, Joe. Do me a favor. Unshare the screen for a moment, please. Okay.
Done.
All right. Give me a moment here. Okay. Oh, good Lord. There we go. Now, go ahead and share the screen.
All righty. Here we go. Now this, normally I show the 700, but I'm showing 850 because the 0 Celsius line, usually is the line at 850 that delineates rain versus snow. That line, as you can see, this is for 0Z Friday. This is for 8 o'clock daylight saving time tomorrow night, Thursday night. Here's where the 0 line is. It's located up near Tim Veltman's house, in and around the Albany area. Here's where the tri-state area is. Now we jump to 6Z or 2 a.m. Friday morning. You could see that all of the omega, all of the atmospheric energy at 850 is now lifting away to the east. The cold air, the 850 zero line, has now moved into my neck of the woods, right around Putnam Valley and north of 287. But that's where the cold air is moving in. Everywhere south of there, it's still mild enough for rain. And as I said, most of the energy is now lifting away at 2 a.m. Friday morning to the east. So what is left when we get to 8 a.m. on Friday? Well, we're already into the cold air. In fact, we're somewhere between, I guess, -1 to -3 Celsius. Certainly, apparently cold enough for snow. But where's all the energy? Where's all the moisture? Where's all the mayhem that could create significant snowfall? It has now moved east of Long Island and out toward Cape Cod and beyond. So what that says, or what that tells me, is that it may not get cold enough fast enough in time for, I mean, we may see snow, but it may not be enough to even accumulate to much of a degree, which would be in your thoughts, Joe, as to what you just mentioned, that you're not impressed with this. And looking at this, I wouldn't be very much impressed with it. But again, if you're groping at straws, it's the only thing you can hang on to, is that little bit of cold air that comes in, maybe a little quicker than the models say, and maybe some of that moisture will linger a little longer than what the models are indicating, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get a little bit of snow accumulation.
A
We'll
lot of
have to see,
maybes
but
in there.
yeah, a lot of
A
maybes,
lot of
a
maybes
lot
in
of maybes.
there.
Yeah.
All right, but I got the new GFS up, so we can we'll take a look at that, and and also we'll I'll go through my logic through all of this. Hang on, just gotta fit the screen, and yeah. So after a little bit of a rough start here, we seem to be getting things going. So I've got the new GFS up. So here's your low. They've got the surface low. The system actually looks pretty impressive here tonight. This is at 2 a.m. Joe mentioned those night. Look at the cells on the GFS, which is you look at the mesoscale models, it's even more impressive. But if you look at the cells on the GFS and how fired up they are in this squall line that moves east across Alabama during the overnight, and then reaches me in northeast Georgia by tomorrow morning 8 a.m. and then I'm done, which I'm happy about. But the surface low moves straight across the lower Ohio Valley. It's all rain all the way up to Plattsburgh practically by tomorrow afternoon. So the cold air isn't even into New York State. I would feel better about this from the standpoint of snow. If at least at this point, I would be seeing mostly snow, say from I-90 north, and you're not. You're seeing rain. Only after between midnight and 2 a.m., you suddenly start to see some snow on the northern flank there. And at 2 a.m., Joe, we've got rain. It's still raining at the coast. It looks like it's changed over or about to change over just north of 84. But then by Friday morning, you've got one area of precip that's run out well to the east. The low is getting stretched out east-west. You've got some leftover precip in southeast PA and southern New Jersey down into Virginia. Some of that snow in southern PA and over into Maryland. And then, of course, it's all pretty much gone. Yeah, I would like to, I certainly would like to see a much more robust looking system. And the problem is when you look at the upper air here, here's your upper low. It's wrapped up like a tight ball tomorrow morning in southeastern Missouri. So there's no real wonder here why we're going to see another severe weather outbreak in the southeast with that upper low the way it is. And it still looks okay tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. But after that, it suddenly starts to slowly begin to weaken. You can see the upper low there in western North Carolina. At this point, you're also seeing this is the upper trough in the northern part of the jet that's supposed to bring down the cold air. It's not lined up it's not lined up well. And then, of course, the upper low just basically opens up by Friday morning. You have this northern shortwave. Then you've got the southern system is way down there to the south, and it just continues to just get just stretched and mauled by the northern feature, totally suppressed. And now, and this begs the question, by the way, as far as the weekend and next week are concerned, because I have a few issues for next week. I could be wrong on this, but I have a few issues. The southern part of this trough, Joe, lags behind. Okay, the northern jet is that's going to come in. It's going to do what it's going to do and I don't have any issues. I think the weekend is going to be fine, but I'm a little concerned here because it does leave behind. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Sorry. It's going to leave behind this upper low, this down in Virginia, North Carolina. There's ridging going on to our north. I'm thinking maybe there might be maybe we will be on the high will protect us just enough, but just to our south, there's probably going to be some onshore flow, and I'm a little bit bothered by this. I mean, the temperatures are going to warm up some, but are we going to have onshore flow issues come Monday and Tuesday?
You mentioned that yesterday, and yeah, that certainly at this time of the year can be a significant problem in warming things up, especially if you live right along the coast, if you live on Long Island. The two of us have seen many a time where a nice balmy day has been promised, and then oops, oh, I'm terribly sorry, the southeast or east southeast wind got involved, and you folks in Freeport only got into the mid 50s today, while everybody else north and west of you got into the 60s and 70s. So
Right.
it certainly is something to be to consider for next.
Well, I mean, I don't think that rain is going to be an issue. But look at Monday night. There's some kind of low that forms off the North Carolina coast. You got a few isobars there between there and Long Island. The high is south of Nova Scotia. Yeah, I'm just not. I am bothered by this. The east northeast flow with the way this is shaping up and the position of the high is just it has. I have cause for concern in terms of cloud cover, and I mean even going into Tuesday and Wednesday, you still have a northeast flow here. The high's kind of trying to weekly ridge down from New England with a low sitting out to the east. Again, I don't think this is a rain setup, but are there going to be clouds? Are there going to be is there going to be an onshore flow? How far inland is it going to penetrate? Then, of course, you've got this next system to the west, another low coming out of Colorado with some snow and into Texas. And it looks to me like there could be another round of severe weather early next week, Monday night into Tuesday in East Texas, and then in Arkansas and Louisiana. That low goes straight to the north. So after that, the severe weather risk diminishes. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not liking the way this looks. And there's another low that comes up later next week with what looks like some more significant rain. We'll have to see if that winds up verifying. Oh, and by the way, WPC, they don't seem to be too impressed either. I have the probability here of the map, the probability of an inch, okay, of an inch or more, an inch but less than 2, all right. And they don't even they have the 5% line through New York City crossing Long Island Sound. Nothing from there south. You have to go up north of 84 and you start to get to maybe a 30-40% chance of at least 1. And if I put the for 2 inches, Joe, you have to go into Massachusetts to find a bullseye probability of 40% or higher in central Massachusetts for at least 2.
Well,
I'm rubbing it in.
What can you say? What can you say?
Yeah, I know. You can't say too much here.
Yeah, look, it doesn't. Well, even and those guys at the Weather Prediction Center are not biased. They pretty much are right down the middle. They're not like, let's say, snow lovers who say, well, if this could happen and that could happen, we could get, they're not like that, folks. So if they're not really, into this in terms of a significant snowfall, that might be the clue that we may not be waking up on Friday morning to anything, in terms of a significant snow event. But we'll see. We still have some time. Another couple of more runs, at least one more run. Then after tonight's, you really have to start nowcasting more than forecasting.
Yeah, David Fuller hit super chat tonight. Thank you, David, very much for doing that. Joe and I really appreciate it. And by the way, before you go, just a couple of breaking news items that I think were pretty interesting. Now, I think it's because they watch the show on a daily basis, but the World Meteorological Organization, the WMO, not to be confused with the WHO, but the World Meteorological Organization has retired hurricanes Dorian from 2019, Laura, Ada, and Iota. But more importantly, Joe, more importantly, as you and I
Yeah.
talked about, they will be getting rid of the Greek alphabet names, and they will be going to what you and I suggested to them. We said, you know what, make an alternate list that you just kind of keep on the side, and if you need it, you go to it, you pull the names. If you have to retire them, you retire them, and you replace them with another name. So guess what? That's what they're going to do.
Goodbye, Greek.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So no more. Those Greek names are retired, but since they're not going to use the Greek alphabet anymore, we won't run into the confusion of having double names again. And so they're going to have an alternate separate list ready just in case they go through the entire alphabet and run out of names. So uh, no need to thank us, okay? No need to thank us. We oftentimes come up with these brilliant ideas.
We're always
We're
we're
only
always
too
one
happy
step
to
ahead.
share them.
We're always one step ahead of everybody.
Or one
I mean,
step.
you and I were doing this before the pandemic.
Right.
Of doing a show via social media or by Facebook and Zoom. We were here long before all the other people came and started doing this. So
Right. Exactly. We're just trendsetters, you and I. We're one step beyond.
yes, Bed Bath and way beyond.
Yes, it's always fun in the Beyond section of Bed Bath and Beyond. I will say that. All right, I know you have to leave early tonight. It only figures I've had a almost perfect signal through the whole show.
Figures
So
it might get
restart.
even more perfect once I leave.
What's that?
It might even get better once I leave.
Well, no, it's fine. It's been kind of stable. It's not jumping up and down. So I shut my computer. Like I said, I'm going to reset my computer. I have to make sure I open that program up so that I can do print screen. Oh, one thing real quick. So today, I was waiting today because I ordered yesterday a headset with that boom mic. Remember I was telling you?
Right,
Okay.
right.
So I get a box this morning, and I went actually. UPS opened my my truck door, and left the box inside the truck, which was a good thing to do because of the rain that was around. But the box was huge. And I'm like, why such a huge box for such a headset with a mic? Well, as it turned out, I ordered a headset, a broadcast quality headset, but it was like a broadcast control room headset. So the pin to plug it in was like that wide. Okay. I thought it's just so I put it back in the box. I took it down to UPS and sent it back to Amazon, and I already got credit for it. So now I'm starting from scratch, and I got to look for another one. But so that was my source. Like, why, Joe? The box was huge. I mean, if it was maybe about 3 feet long and about a foot deep.
And you knew
And
something was wrong with this.
yeah, I said, why such a big box? I mean, it was something out of like 10 years ago what they sent me. But it was a nice looking headset. If I was working if we had a real control room here from years ago, it would be perfect. Anyhow, I got my shot today. I got my the Pfizer shot. So
Okay.
so I'm I'm looking at Bill Gates pictures all day long. I'm growing an ex, I'm growing an extra, I'm growing an extra eye in the back of my head, and all the rest of it. So anyhow, you and I are on the same. When's your next shot? When do you get the second one?
April 12th.
April 12th? Oh,
Hmm.
I get mine on April 7th.
Oh, well,
Why did they make you wait an extra week? I guess
I
maybe they're
don't
just
know.
filled up.
I don't know. They were doing like 300 or 400 a day at the place where I went to the other day.
Yeah, but I
So,
walked in, there were some people there, I got my shot. I sat in the high school gym for, 15 minutes. There was a clock, a countdown clock, and some police there to make sure you didn't leave before your 15 minutes were up, and it was fine. The only thing I didn't get was I wanted a lollipop for my. What's going on?
Moderna is every Moderna is every 4 weeks. I'm told by
Oh,
the
every four
executive
weeks.
producer. Yeah.
It's so handy to have Macy's on the second floor. It really is. It just is.
On that note, I'm leaving. I will see you
All
tomorrow
right.
night.
I'm going to hang around for a little bit with everybody else. So if you have your opportunity, if you got some questions, happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way. Joe's got his astronomy meeting tonight. So we have the news about the Hurricane Center, about hurricane season coming up. It's going to start on June 1st. Outlooks are going to start on May 15th. But they are going to come up with an alternate list of names so that we don't have the problem with dealing with the using the Greek alphabet names and then having the chance that you could wind up with another storm with the same name, uh, and then you'd have to retire them. I'm just going to just screen. Have I doubled my memory, Christinapedia? Oh, if only. If that were the case, I wouldn't have forgotten to open that program so my print screen would have worked and we wouldn't have had that technical fiasco at the beginning of the show. But so far, I mean, I'm fine. I mean, I know it's only been in 8 hours since I got the shot, so we'll have to see how I feel tomorrow and the next day. Jason Schaefer, crappy. He's feeling Advil's kicking in, lower fever. Okay, so oh, I'm sorry, Christina Petey, you're feeling crappy. Uh, uh, so you're getting some side effects. My sister said that she got some dizziness from the second shot, and just a little bit of side effects from the first one. So, I said this the other day, and I'll say it again. I don't want to get into the politics because that often winds up evolving into a nasty discussion. I don't want to have nasty discussions here. I would just say, like I said yesterday, getting the vaccine, that's a personal decision between you and your doctor, and that's the way it should be. So if you get it, that's great. If you decide not to, that's certainly that's your own affair. All right. Some people are using it as a way of like being moralistic. I don't really want to do that. Ooh, here comes the railroad train, moving some big rain right across my roof at the moment. So tomorrow we're going to have another round of severe weather that we're going to be dealing with in the southeast. So if you're in the Carolinas, if you're in Georgia, if you're in Southern Virginia, back up into West Virginia, Southern Ohio, SPC, with that large area of risk that is being indicated. And so beware of that. And of course, for the folks that are in Alabama and Mississippi right now, as you deal with the severe weather tonight, let's just keep our fingers crossed that the storms don't get too out of hand. Did my arm hurt? No, my arm is fine. I After I got the shot a little while later, it felt a little itchy, but it's not sore. It feels fine. Johnny Quest, do the strong upper level winds determine the strength of the twister? Well, what we look at, one of the levels that we look at, Johnny. So I'll bring up a map here so we could take a look. And you try to focus on the wind shear. In other words, wind increasing with height. And with respect to this particular upper low, I'll put the map up in a second. I'm just kind of rolling. I'm rolling it back off screen here, so you're not seeing the circle of death. Okay, so here we go. And you know what? I'll bring a close up map of the south, because this way you'll be able to see it even better. Okay, so this is the map. This is the upper level map for 7 o'clock this evening. And I'm going to put it on the screen right now. There we go. Okay, so if you take a look, it might be a little bit hard to see, but you'll notice these, the yellow and brown spots and streaks. So those are all jet streaks, bursts of strong winds. And you're looking at, when you look at the wind barbs across much of Mississippi, in and around where we have some of the severe weather going on tonight, right in this zone in here, for example, you're seeing a lot of winds at the 10,000 foot level at 60, 65, 70 knots. That mixes down at the lower levels of the atmosphere. So you have winds increasing with height, with shear. That is going to create, your strong wind gusts, help to create those strong wind gusts when those thunderstorms roll through. It also helps to create rotation in those tornadoes. You'll see another burst here in northeastern Alabama, for example, where you see those dark brown spots. Also seeing some wind barbs there showing 50, 60, 70 knots. So in there, you're getting that strong vertical shear that you look for when it comes to thunderstorms and when it comes to severe weather. So those are some of the tools that you could use. I like to look at the 700 millibar map and look to see where those jet streaks are, and they often are a good indication of where you're going to see something of consequence. Ethan Kerr, it looks like the supercells are merging together to form clusters and lines. Do you think it's turning into more of a damaging wind threat than tornadoes? It's kind of hard to say. I mean, I defer to SPC on this. They kind of talked about that on one of their discussions. That certainly would take away the tornado threat during the night if that were to continue to happen. But I would just be careful, because the radars, can be, what you're seeing now and what you see 4 or 5 hours from now may wind up being two different things. So hopefully, again, as far as what's going on in the Gulf states, that this winds up being, during the overnight hours, that they catch a bit of a break. It doesn't, I don't know how hopeful that is. I'm bringing up Tornado HQ. And again, if you're watching this, we're at 8:13 Eastern Daylight Time. So please, if you're watching this later on tonight, be sure to check with your local National Weather Service office by going to weather.gov so you get the latest information. I'm just trying to see, they just pull up. There's a new tornado watch near Chahaba Park, or 11 miles southwest of Selmont, West Selmont, moving north at 30 miles an hour in the county of Dallas. And I believe that is in, hold on, let me widen this out. I don't want to give out misinformation here. For some reason, usually, I'm going to see the full warning test. So this is from Birmingham. Okay, so this is in southeastern Dallas County in south central Alabama. The latest tornado warning that's up there. There's another one that they have up. This is also from Huntsville, Alabama, issuing a tornado warning for northwestern Cullman County in north central Alabama. David Schwartz pointed out earlier tonight when I was sort of in between doing stuff that there were tornadoes in and around Selma and in and around Birmingham. And actually, from where this was about 3 o'clock this afternoon, when I pulled this up, there were 11, if I remember correctly, there were 11 working tornado warnings all at the same time. So right now, there's only 2. So at least from that standpoint, things have calmed down. So tomorrow, the severe weather goes into the southeast. Then, of course, for our area, eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England, somebody going to wind up with a cheap thrill snowfall. You heard Joe and I earlier. I'm not impressed by this. I just don't. I think the system is getting stretched out and weakening as it approaches the East Coast, and I would rather see a system at least holding its own, or even strengthening a bit in terms of the upper air features when it's making that final approach to be more bullish on snowfall. So I'm going to stick with my guns with respect to my particular view on that. All right, so everybody, thanks for being here tonight. Really do, as always, we appreciate that you come here on a nightly basis when the weather is exciting and when the weather is not exciting. And when I say exciting, I mean for weather lovers. They just enjoy the weather and the meteorology part of it, but nobody wants to see severe weather and the impacts of severe weather. The Joe and Joe Weather Show brought to you by Omni True Value Hardwares. They're getting ready for spring with everything you need to get your yard in tip-top shape. 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 631-756-1125. The website omnitruevalue.com. And also brought to you by Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst. And the phone number there is 631-957-5106. liholidaylighting.com is the website. Your complete holiday lighting specialist, meaning all your decorating needs. So Joe and I will be back. I'm not sure about tomorrow night. That's going to wind up being in flux at the moment. I have to talk to him about it. We'll try to do something tomorrow night. I have some family issues that I have to deal with. So, but I'll let you know during the day tomorrow. I'll post it on Patreon. You'll post the links on Facebook and so and on Twitter. But for now, it's kind of iffy with regards to tomorrow night's show. Okay. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks again. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow.